Well, I mean, especially because like in fun people, you are then like someone say like one thing.
Well, our experience has been that 20 people in the same space and nobody else.
Was it everything you wanted it to be, Ricky?
Yes.
Was it?
I'm so happy, and people from the School of Information came. And they liked it.
They liked it?
Yeah, they liked the whole thing, and they said it's well put together. So I'm happy because I feel like that's my audience. Yeah.
I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I mean, I think that we were always very open to multiple outcomes, and maybe that's why it turned out so well, was that you stressed that we should think not about the product, but more about the process. And in being able to focus on the process throughout and be really self-reflexive, I think that helped us come up with a really creative final exhibit that was really interactive on a couple different levels and did draw on the research that we did incorporate the feedback we had gotten from our interviews, but also produce something new, something that people were talking about and interested about. I like that. I mean, I feel like we didn't lose the kernel from the original proposal in the fall, and yet we did create something new. So I'm happy with that.
Great.
I think that people were really excited to be able to remember such an important historic event.
Yeah.
And that there was a desire to talk about how impromptu, but how interesting that experience was in Ann Arbor in particular, that the Diag became this public square, and that people, when they didn't know what to do but they wanted to celebrate, they just gravitated there because they figured somebody else might have the same hunch, which I thought was a really interesting use of space, public space. I think that I learned a lot about exhibit design. How do you get people to do something in as little time as possible, and when you're not here to explain, how clear are your instructions and how willing are people to engage with an exhibit that asks for their participation. So I learned a lot about that.
Do you think they thought about digitizing things?
Yeah, I think actually people got the idea that that there was an intentionality behind not being able to see the screen, and that everybody else could see the screen, but you couldn't, that you were moving things around, and then when you were done, then you walked around and you could see it, or you just kind of let it go. I didn't think that people would make that connection, but I think that they did.
Excellent.
Yeah, I'm really happy with it.
Well, first thing that comes to mind was we were kind of stuck with the research portion. And then you gave us that little nugget of wisdom, said to have fun. And that's, I think, how we came up with the gestural interface.
Ah, good.
So, which is more fun, natural, easier to, like the learning curve is a lot less, and anybody can just pick it up. So I'm really happy with the way it turned out and excited for the future.
That was awesome.
I think it was a success. Yeah, it was a success. Sad to see it go down.
Yeah. Another week.
Another week would be cool.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing about it?
The Caroline.
Oh yeah, the Carolina at the end was really cool. I'm glad we ended up being able to do some animation with the maps. And more people than I expected have been commenting on the left side.
Yeah.
That was a close one. With the tidbits.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got more comments on that than I expected to get.
Yeah, me too. Seemed to be a highlight.
Have you done a show like this before?
Not here. Like this is the first time any of it. 'Cause this
But
is
you've
my
done these sorts of shows before?
Yeah, like back in my country, with my students. So it's really fun, and there's a lot of good response from the people that visited our exhibition, like the gallery that we have. So it's really nice to see how people get excited when they try our stuff.
Did they learn something that you didn't expect them to?
Yeah, mostly what we expected is there. Like they pay attention to the tidbits, they read it, and then some of them really make them understand things that they weren't aware of before. And I think we chose the right tidbits also.
Right. Yeah.
It was a process itself to go through it and pick up the right one.
That's
The
right.
information straightforward and